Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and today I'm going to show you a 3-day-a-week strength training program that you can do at Planet Fitness or anywhere where you only have a Smith machine. We're going to start every single sesh with a warm-up on the Stairmaster, or you can go on the treadmill. I don't really care. Just get your body temperature up. Now, before every lift, we're also going to warm up by doing dynamic stretches. These are called 90-90s, and you can do them by leaning to the side if the first version is too hard for you. That first exercise was to open up our hips, and now we're going to engage the backside of our legs, so all the way through the glutes and the hamstrings. Now we're going to grab these tiny dumbbells and do rear delt flies. This engages the upper part of our back because we're about to do some pull-ups, so we also want to do these rows. This will engage our lats. Now take the same pair of dumbbells and we're going to stretch out our triceps. That's the backside of your arm. Okay, last warm-up, we're going to grab a kettlebell. Put that baby right between your toes, send your hips backwards, reach down and engage your glutes to drive your legs through the floor for a deadlift. Cool, now you're warmed up and ready to do the real thing. So set up your bar, unhook the rack, and let it go all the way to the floor. Bring your shins really close to the bar, reach down, engage your core, and pull the bar up to your hips. In order to do the hinge correctly, your knees cannot be in the way. They need to be stacked on top of your ankles. They cannot come forward towards your toes, so you need to shift your weight real far back. Try recording yourself to make sure your back is completely flat. It's called mixed grip. It's just palms facing opposite. It just makes it easier to hold onto the bar. Now take a deep breath and hold it in like Mike Tyson's gonna punch you in the stomach. Pretend your arms are ropes. They never get to pull. Your lower back is gonna be sore. That's normal, but if you feel stabbing pain, please stop. You're doing it wrong. Now we're gonna do pull-ups and step-ups on the same machine and alternate. This machine works backwards because the heavier you go, the easier it is. If you're short like me, the machine will not carry you all the way to the top. I want you to get the full range of motion, so if this is happening to you, then stand on it instead and you'll be able to go really high. Step one of the pull-up is to pull your shoulders down and away from your ears before you start to bend your arms. If you are not able to do this, start with the lat pull-down machine instead and Google pull-up drills and do those first. Be careful putting the weight back. Don't just jump off of the thing. It's gonna slam you in the cooch. Okay, step up time, and it's actually not stepping up. We're actually stepping down. Play around with the foot position, but overall just push through your heel, not your toe. The closer you can get your knee to your titties, the better. The deeper you go, the more your glutes stretch and the bigger your booty gets. Don't stand straight up. Bend your torso forward a little bit, otherwise your lower back is going to be arched and that's going to hurt. This one requires a lot of attention, so really focus on making your booty burn. Okay, now for RDLs. These are Romanian deadlifts. These are similar to the deadlift that we did at the beginning, but our hips are only going back. They're not going down. That is the difference. If you can't figure that out, use a wall like I just did and try and get your booty to touch the wall. This is going to stretch your hamstrings and your glutes. Back straight and dumbbells on the legs, please. Okay, we got another superset. We were doing face pulls and tricep pushdowns. These are the face pulls. Elbows high, please. Back is squeezed like you're squeezing a piece of paper in between your shoulder blades. You can do overhand or underhand. I don't care. Next, we have tricep pushdowns. Elbows stay locked in position. We literally just straighten the arm. Elbows do not move. They don't move. They don't come forward. I mean, maybe a little, but not a lot, please. At the very end, we pull the rope apart to get that extra little squeeze. Okay, now we're doing hip abductors. We're going to start by laying all the way back. Then we're going to do a set sitting straight up. However you need to make that happen. My elbows barely fit on here. Then we're going to do leaning way forward. This is my favorite. It gets the very, very top of the glute, the shelf. Yes. Go heavier than you think you can. That's all for day one. This is day two. We're going to start off with some leg swings. You can do forward, and then you can also do sideways. I don't know what these are called, but they really engage your core and honestly your entire body, so they're pretty clutch. Now grab a mat and get on the floor. We're doing push-ups on the knees. Keep your entire body straight. We're not doing the worm. Thank you. These are bird dogs. They're a full body thing. Squeeze your booty, get your leg high, stay balanced. Last thing, a hip opener. If you can't do this, just rock side to side and stretch out your ankles. Time to squat. Set the bar up where it would rest on your upper back, no higher. Place your hands so that they're perfectly even, duck your head under, and take the bar up with your legs. Don't use your back. Re-grip the bar so that the hooks don't get stuck when you come down because you're gonna pull the bar backwards and it might get caught. Take a stance a little bit outside of your shoulders or your hips and point your toes slightly outward. You want your feet directly under the bar. Deep breath, just like the deadlift. Back stays straight. Hips hinge slightly. We don't want our feet coming way forward like this or way backward. It's going to put weird pressure on your back and your knees, and you might fall and hit your head, and that would cause death. Okay, quick step by step. Hands are even. Bar is not on our neck, but on the upper back. Deep breath, brace the core like we're about to be punched. Send our hips backwards, and then at the very bottom, we push the floor away from us. push the feet outward. Moving on to bench, my favorite. Get your dumbbells, put them on your knees. As you fall back, kick your knees up and put the dumbbells up by your titties. We're gonna compress. Try and get your shoulders as close to your feet or as close to your butt as you can. So big arch, squeeze your booty, roll your shoulder blades down and back, and then just press up. I know it looks weird, but arching your lower back takes the pressure off your shoulders and allows you to push more weight. Another way to protect your shoulders is to bring your elbows closer in towards your sides and don't let them flare out. You'll notice there's 3 contact points. There's the press through the floor with your feet, your butt is squeezed, your lower back is arched, and your shoulders are rolled down and back. You'll also notice the position of the weights. They're not by my neck or by my belly button. They're by the bottom of my bra strap. Now we're doing incline shoulder press. So take the bench and put it almost all the way up, but not quite. Same thing as before. Kick those babies up with your knee. We're going to stack our ribs on top of our hips, brace our core. No arch this time. Most important thing is for your wrist to stay on top of your elbow. I don't want wrist coming forward or back. But it is okay for your arms to come forward a little bit in front of your ears. Next, we're doing leg extension. This is a quad isolation exercise. I want you to adjust the thing so that your feet get as far back close to your butt as possible. It's gonna be weird, but just shimmy in there, you'll be fine. So you just straighten your legs, and at the top you squeeze your quads super hard and go slow on the way down. There's a lot of places to adjust, like the back part of the seat, so make sure it's all correct. Now we're supersetting lateral raises and bicep curls. This is the lat raise. It works the shoulder. Your arms don't need to come directly by your side. They can come a little forward, slight bend in the elbow as well, but make sure they get up to your shoulder height. I think almost everyone knows what a bicep curl looks like, but just make sure your elbow is super steady and you're coming all the way up towards your face and no swinging. Keep your back straight as well. Now we got 2 core exercises. The first one is a farmer's carry. We're doing one arm. Stand up, roll your shoulder back, brace your core. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Very baby steps, please. Small. You have to stay steady. If you're swaying, it's not going to work. I don't want your arm to be by your side either. It has to be floating. You know what I mean? Like, don't use your side to carry it. Next up, we got planks. We're going to go on the elbows preferably, but I literally don't care. Elbows or hands, don't matter. Just make sure your body stays aligned. Don't arch. Don't stick your booty up in the air. Nobody wants to see that. Day 3, we're warming up with inchworms. Walk your hands out. Walk them back. Now we got cat-cow. We're going to pretend we're doing yoga, but we just got to get the back warmed up. Now we're squatting down, rocking side to side, stretching our ankles and our hips. Spoiler alert, we're doing sumo deadlifts today, so warm up with the kettlebell or start there if you're not ready for the bar. Toes are pointing out. We're going super wide in the legs. Get your legs close to the bar, brace your core. Arms are like ropes, they just hang down, and we're going to brace our core, keep our back super straight. Hips are very far back. Whole body is back. Just think back, honestly. Like you're going to sit into a seat, like you're about to fall back onto the ground and lay down for a nap. Okay, for real this time with weight, we're going to stand tall. Shoulder blades go down. Back is perfectly straight. Hips sink back. Legs are close to the bar. Arms are hanging long, punching the ground. Toes are pointed out towards the weights. Shins are touching the bar. One more time from this weird angle. Don't know why I got so many angles. Oh my god, my butt. It looks so weird. Last deadlift in the program, we're doing single leg RDLs. You already know what the RDL is from the other day. Now we're just going to do it on wed leg. So this is called B stance. We kickstand the leg so it's not actually being used. Only one leg is being used. It's just for balance. Brace your core. Send your hips back. Knee stays over the heel. I like to use my hand opposite my leg that's working. I don't know, it just feels good to me, but you don't have to do that. Next, we got seated rows. I want you to make sure you keep your back flat before you pick that weight up at all. It's very important. Shoulders are down and back, away from the ears, and we're pulling towards our belly button. My legs are not bent, but they're also not straight, and my shoulder blades are squeezing all the way together in the back and then coming all the way forward and loosening at the end. Now for single leg hip thrusts. The first step is to find the right spot on your back so that you don't fall off the bench, but you're also not fully on it either. You can start with just body weight at first, but eventually you'll want to grab a dumbbell. This exercise uses only one leg, so I like to kick my leg up with me while I do the rep. It makes it so that I can't put any weight in my other leg no matter what. If you prefer using both legs, that's fine, but a single dumbbell will not be enough weight for you to continue to see growth week after week. You'll need to use the Smith machine, and that can be really annoying to set up. So I prefer doing the single leg because it's super easy. You just grab one dumbbell. We're so close to the end. We just have core left to do. So these are single arm rows in a sumo stance. So you want to find a really strong stance here. Brace your core, hinge your hips backwards, and you pull up to your belly button. Shoulders away from the ears, just like in the rows before. Last exercise of the program, grab your mat, we're laying down. We're gonna do some leg lifts. Okay, the easiest way is to put your hands all the way under your booty, super far under there. That's gonna be the easiest way, or to hang on to something. If you wanna make it a little harder, take your hands out to the sides. And if you wanna make it even harder, you can use a weight, which is kind of crazy. But overall, you know you're done when your lower back comes off the ground. Keep your lower back on the ground at all times. And if you wanna get rid of that fupa, go extra slow on the way down. After every single workout, you wanna stretch. You can either do it right after the workout or before you go to bed at night, but you probably will forget. I like to use a foam roller on sore muscles. It's my favorite way to stretch, but you can also just do static stretching. You can use the foam roller before the lift as well. That is fine if you don't like my warm-ups. I just have one more little rant before I set you free. In order for an exercise to be effective, you need to be going 1 to 2 reps shy of failure. Failure is when you physically cannot do another rep with good form. It is impossible. Failure is not when it burns or when it starts to hurt. That does not mean you're done all the time. It's gonna hurt. It's exercise. That's the point. Going completely to failure, like more than once a week, especially when you just started lifting, can lead to some injuries and you just won't recover fast enough. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments below. I actually will answer quickly and efficiently. Okay, happy lifting!